everyone, and welcome to the Eternal X Wolfpack Paranormal. I'm your host, Sean Ellis, and tonight we have an amazing guest sitting backstage, Miss Nikki Perkins. We will be talking to her here in a few minutes. I hope everybody's had a great Father's Day. It's been kind of rainy out, but I hope you got to get out and enjoy the day somewhat as well. I would like to thank Mr. Joshua Robert Moore as well from Earth Core Audio for the Eternal X Wolfpack theme song as well. I greatly appreciate it. He did an amazing job with it. Definitely go check him out at Earth Core Audio. Also, last night we did an investigation on Sylvan Island, and if you missed it, definitely go check it out. We will have a podcast special next Sunday on that, what we found after we went off the air, which was kind of interesting. So we're all set and talk about that next week as well. And also tonight will be the last show of season 4. So throughout the rest of the time until October 4th, we will have little specials here and there. I'll be teaming up with some other teams like Illinois Paranormal Research Group at quarters 1. We will definitely do a live there. Also, I'll be teaming up with Jamie Lynn Keller. Eternal Paranormal will be going back to Keysburg again. And all those will be little special shows during the time of break. And I will put up a flyer to let everybody know the days and the time that will happen when we will go live. So, without further ado, let's bring on our guest tonight, Miss Nikki Perkins.
Hey guys.
Hey, Nick. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing? Happy Father's Day, by the way.
Oh, thank you. It's been, like I said, it's been raining all day, and my daughter's work today, so maybe sometime I'll see him sometime during this week. But that'll be all right. I know you've been on Len Dorman's show. That's where I actually met you. And
that was my very first show ever. My first ever podcast.
Well, you did well for your first podcast. That was very interesting. We actually had a pretty interesting conversation after the show as well.
I think we talked for like an hour.
So, how did you kind of get into the paranormal stuff in general?
I've always, ever since I can remember, I've always loved scary movies. I get that from my dad and my grandfather.
Hello.
But I've always noticed things that other people didn't really notice. Signs, synchronicities, dreams, or night terrors. I was just different, and nobody in my family really, they don't like scary movies and stuff like that.
Right.
And I'll be like, why do you watch stuff like that? And I said, because I can. Because I know what's going on. I know what they're going through, and a lot of people don't think it's real. I guess until it happens to you, you won't believe it.
Right. When did you realize you started having abilities that all this started coming about with you picking up being sensitive and empathic wise?
I was I was put through, like, going to psychologists, and all. I mean, like I said, they didn't believe all that kind of stuff, and I guess they thought that there was something wrong with me. Um, and for a long time, I just kind of tried to stay away from it. And then when I got older, I started doing drugs and alcohol and all that, and of course that makes it not so in your face. Um, but when I got sober back in 2013 is when I had my spiritual awakening, May 19th, 2013. And I got sober. There was no denying it. There was no more. I couldn't care what nobody else thought about it. So that's when I started buying the tarot cards and the books and everything I could, just to figure out what was really going on. And it helped me a lot. And it has helped me a lot. I think actually diving into it and accepting who I was helped me in my life a lot. It kept me, stop doing the hard drugs. I didn't need all that anymore. I finally was
Right.
doing what I guess I was meant to do or meant to be here for.
Got Miss Pam Harris in the house. Hello, Pam.
Hey,
Thanks for sharing out. She's from Serene Divine. We haven't seen her for a while. Hopefully, someday she'll come back. I normally ask, hang on a second, we got another one. Hi. Hello.
hi.
Um, I normally ask because I mean, I've even had friends that went through drugs and stuff like that. So I always like to hear the opinion of somebody else because so I can understand some of it. During the time you were doing that, the things you've seen, are they different than the things you see now? I mean, I'm trying to make the comparison.
It's more intense now. You do cocaine and you do stuff like that, and you're just drunk. It kind of just it kind of just blurs everything, and it just kind of like it didn't bother me. Um, but now, I mean, like I said, I smoke weed, and that kind of opens me up.
Mhm.
Mushrooms. Mushrooms really opens me up. I still do stuff like that every once in a while.
Yeah, I've heard several people say that when they do that, it opens up their third eye as well.
It does. That's what I meant. Third eye. Yes.
It definitely opens up their third eye. Put the banner up here just in case. Um, but yeah, I mean, I always ask their opinion because I know the Indians used to smoke peyote,
Yes.
and they would go through their rituals and see their guides as well. So that's why I kind of asked because I know everybody's affected different and how they see things when that happens.
Yeah. Native American culture is my number one, and I guess next to that would be Egyptian culture. I really, I don't know. Maybe I was Native American, or I do have Native American blood in me. My grandfather, my mom, his dad. You can just look at him and tell. Uh, but the Egyptian thing, I guess maybe I believe in past lives. So
Mhm.
I think things that like back in the day, things that I'm just so interested in today, I must have lived back in those days. I had to have to know so much and to feel so much about that stuff.
Have
But
have you had the chance to go through your Akashic records and see any of your past lives?
no, and that's something I want to do. That's something I really want to do. I'd love to know what my past lives were like. There's an elderly lady here that does it, and I haven't done it yet. But that's on my bucket list
Oh wow, that's interesting.
because I
That
believe.
is,
I mean, I believe that with I have a friend that's he's gay, and but I think in his past life, I think he was a woman. I
yeah.
believe in his past life I was actually a man. I really do. So, and I can see how these traits would roll on over into another lifetime, and that's why people are so, you know, the way they are.
Hmm. So, what's some of the things so far you've been experiencing coming into your gifts right now? I mean,
Uh,
the different varieties, because
well,
everybody's different.
well, when my son was little, I wasn't doing all that
Okay.
stuff, and I saw like a shadow figure of a little boy that I thought was him. We were all in bed one night, and I saw a figure standing at my doorway, and it looked like him. It's his size, and it turned around and walked in the kitchen. So I got up, and I'm like, "Honey, are you thirsty? Or what's going on?" And I walked in the living room. He wasn't in there. I walked in the kitchen. He wasn't in there. I turned around and went back in his room, and he was still tucked in his bed. He had never gotten up.
Hmm.
So that was wild. I didn't sleep the rest of that night. It was and that's when I that's an see that's what I'm saying. It's like it's been off and on my whole life. So that
Thank you, Keith.
that happened way before the 2013. Taylor was little, so it was probably like 95, 96.
Hmm.
Um,
So, some of the ones that actually come to you or you've seen, have they tried to get you to give messages to other people as well?
If that happened today, I wouldn't be scared about it, and I would want to help them if I could. I have not had that happen. I've had more poltergeist things happen, and I've had now I've been held down in my bed, but that was before the awakening, and that scared the hell out of me. I could be in my bed and I could hear it would sound like silverware being messed with in the drawer in the kitchen.
Hmm.
I would see things out of the corner of my eyes, shadows or lights flashing. Um, and so I was having. I mean, I've had things happen since before the awakening, but after the awakening, it everything just got more intense. But I have never been able to be like, hey, what can I help you with? Yeah,
Hmm.
I would love to do that.
I noticed, well, you brought up the fact of being pushed down in your bed, and I know we had this conversation before after Lynn's show. I actually had that experience at one time too, of laying in my bed, and it felt like pressure was pushing me down in the bed, like you were sinking in it.
You
And at
can't
the time, I never really thought anything of it besides being very odd and very strange.
But the scary thing is you can't move and you can't say anything. You're like, I can't explain it. And of course, doctors call it sleep paralysis, which is
Right?
bullshit. I don't believe in
Mhm.
all that. And I don't believe the ringing in your ears is tinnitus. I just don't. And, then
Yeah,
they put all these kids on all this damn medication because they're special and because their third eye is awake and because they're, awakening. I just, I don't believe in all that. I would rather not go to the doctor and tell them anything because then they would think I was
right.
crazy.
Some of the things they've always said, the ringing in your ears, I mean, according to the doctors anyway, they say you're starting to lose your hearing. But, if you're in the paranormal field, ringing in your ears is somebody trying to contact you.
I
And
think
it's, and being able to communicate with you. And sometimes after that ringing in your ears, you can actually hear a voice on occasion as well.
or I get the goosebumps, or I get the goosebumps and I can just feel like there's something here. When my ears are ringing, I know that there's something here, and it's
Yeah.
not a bad thing anymore. I keep 3 candles lit constantly, and I have prayers for each candle, and there's protection, and I'm not scared of anything anymore like I used to be.
Hmm.
Uh, it's not welcome here.
Right. Pam Harris has a question here. It says, Nikki, is there something about your past life that you can't connect to today's life due to not understanding it yet?
I don't know. I don't know. I finally think that I've come to terms with knowing everything. But like you said about the Akashic records, I would love to do that. 'Cause like I said, I really do think I was a man in another life. So if that's what she's talking about,
I mean, it's a possibility. I mean,
oh,
it's
I mean, I know. What was her name? Not the Long Island medium, but the other one. She actually had a show there for a little while. Kim Russo.
oh yeah.
She told the guy was a gay guy on her show that time, and she said that he was a woman in another lifetime. So I was like, there you go, there you go. So it's not people like you just believe anything, and I was like, no, that's not it. It's just I was waiting for someone to finally go there with that. And Kim Russo is a very good medium. I would believe anything she says.
Yeah. We got Mr. Tom Sappington here from Eternal Paranormal. Is there any trauma in I was going to say, your past might have anything to do with now, maybe being closed, possibly?
I think all the trauma that I've had in my past, I have made peace with. Uh, like I said, I'm not afraid of anything anymore, and I really want to dive more into this. I would love
Hmm.
to do paranormal investigating. I would love to know about my Akashic records. I'm more of I want to know more kind of kind of thing. Um,
Yeah.
but I think, but the trauma, everything that has happened in my life, there was a reason for it. There's a reason for everything. So I believe that everything and anything that I went through with my family not believing it or whatever. Uh, it's just taught me to be a stronger person and to be able to do this on my own and be on my own more. I pretty much am a hermit. I don't leave my apartment unless the kids are here. And of course, they stay at my mom's because she's got a huge 5 bedroom, 5 bathroom house. I have a 1 bedroom apartment, and there's like, my son and his wife and 2 children. So it's just easier for them to stay there. And that's about the only
Mhm.
time that I leave. Or I'll go to Walgreens to get my medication. That's it. And I went from 8 medications down to one after my
That's
awakening.
good.
Yes. And I did the Reiki thing. So I've done a lot of healing myself.
Right. We got JC Cowgirl Paranormal said, she said, I feel you were a shaman in your past life. And me and you kind of discussed that a little bit after the show last time, of possibly being a
I'm
healer.
all about the shaman Native American thing. And that would be, I could see that too. Thank you. I can see that as well.
Yeah. Especially with the energy that you feel around you, like I do. And that's an interesting thing too.
We
You
have a
were
lot of
getting,
that. We have a lot of that in common.
yeah. Me and you were discussing Reiki at one time. How did you get involved with Reiki?
Um, like I said, after that, I had started trying to find people like me around here, and then this little lady, and she did Reiki, and I just wanted to know more about it. And she was like, "You were born to do this." Because when I started doing it, I was like, "What is that?" Because I was like, "Not only am I feeling it," I said, "They're feeling it." I just feel like I have like they're like rolling my little. She says you also have chakras in your hands, and I can feel them rolling, and they can
Mhm.
feel it. And I was like, "What is that?" And she said, "That's your energy." And when I do it, I just feel like I imagine a light just shining down on me and going through me and then going through to them. So I feel like when I do Reiki, not only am I helping that person, but I'm helping myself as well because I feel so good after sessions. So
Mhm.
I believe
Does
me as well.
does the people when you help them or when you're showing them the Reiki, do they feel warm energy or cold energy? Because people always say here lately, mine feels warm and staticky.
I've never had anybody tell me either it was warm or cold. They could just feel the 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 rolling. They could feel, and of course my hands do get very hot. Now at first my hands won't be that like that, but when I'm doing it, my hands do get really hot. I did, yeah, they do get hot when I
I think
do
she
Reiki.
missed. I think Pam misspelled the word here. It says Sean, can Reiki help you with your past life? Me and hers discussed that a little bit. I think that was a mistype from Pam there. But yeah, I mean, me and you've talked about that Reiki in the past, and we were talking. You were also saying earlier, and I kind of believe this as well. People that have anxiety, you know, yeah, that have anxiety, and they walk into the room, and all of a sudden they get this gasping for air like a panic, and then it goes into a panic attack. To me, I think that is more of them being an empath, picking up everybody's energy, and they don't understand it, and they put them
That's
on.
why I've become a hermit, because I cannot walk into a Walmart or a Kroger grocery store without having a panic attack. I have left a whole cart of groceries before and just walked out. I start sweating. I start getting nauseated. So that had to stop. So now I order everything and have everything delivered.
Yeah, I
I just
mean,
I don't like being around crowds. Before, when I was partying and coked up and all that, hell yeah, I could go bar hopping and I was always out partying. But now it's just not like that. I can't do that anymore. I can't be around a lot of people.
I've also heard, people that that has done substances in the past, that sometimes after they get off of them and start going on the right path again, that's what really started hyping and activating some of their gifts. Do you think maybe that kind of contributed a little bit to some of it?
I think so. I think so because now that my gifts have heightened and now I'm feeling more than I've ever felt in my life. That's why I can't go out there and be around a lot of people anymore. Because I'm
I,
picking up everybody. I mean, I'm in an apartment, so I'm picking up on the guy downstairs, the people next door.
well, yeah, I
Uh,
can definitely understand where you're coming from. I mean, if I walk into a place and I don't kind of reset myself before I walk into it, I mean, I've never had anxiety or anything like that, but the energy is like overwhelming.
it is.
It's like it bombards you if you're not prepared when you walk into it.
And I've always had problems with nausea growing up. Like every this, and I know. I mean, even being a little girl, I would be nauseous every morning. I'd be nauseous at school, and it would be like it would be come and go. So everybody would think I was faking it. And I'm not gonna
Hmm.
say I never faked being sick because I didn't want to go to school. Of course, every kid does that. But
Right.
this was a lot, and I mean, this was a lot, and it would be like I would throw up one minute, and the next minute I'd be fine. And so I was picking up on all that stuff when I was a little girl. I can remember being in third grade and just, they wouldn't believe me because I didn't feel good. Call my mom, come get me, and then I'd be fine because I was home
Right.
and not around them. So
That
people just
that's
don't.
your safe. That's your safe place that you've grounded yourself to. That's the common ground right there. I can definitely understand that. I mean, I've seen my daughters go through anxiety, when they were growing up, and before I got into the paranormal field and started understanding Reiki and everything else, and the fact if you stay active, like in sports or active and keep you going, it seems like it keeps you more calmer in that sense of the way. But once you start getting a little more relaxed, everything starts coming about again, and that's when the anxiety comes back for some people as well. Reiki helps you cut energy, negative ties, and strengthen positive ones. So it's great for handmade mystic healing crystals and jewelry. Yes, I deal with crystals and jewelry as well. Well, at least crystals.
Like the black obsidian, moon.
Mhm.
Uh, yeah, I do all that too. Oh, and another thing, I ever since I got my cats, I have never been held down in my bed again. I have never had anything like make me feel threatened ever again. I think
Mhm.
cats are very. I think that's why the Egyptians, we call it. I mean, they were very important in Egyptian culture. So, and I think that's why because bad spirits are afraid of cats. Obviously,
Oh yeah, I mean, back then they were classified as guardians, and even witches would have cats around to suck up the negative energy and have forewarned that something was coming as well. And yes, I do agree with Pam, and I think somebody else said it a little while ago as well. Reiki is a way of learning control, also, and it definitely is. One of the things that I went through that I had the privilege is my Reiki master actually gave me the Menaki rights.
okay.
So, and that helped me ground everything around me and be able to convert that bad energy or good energy and shift it any way I want it.
Keith,
Cats
Keith,
walk both sides of the veil. Yes, they do. Definitely
that's a
so.
friend. That's a friend of mine. He has a paranormal podcast too.
Yep, I definitely agree with him.
And
Yes, protection is the key. Cats can see into them beyond protection. Yep, they definitely do. I actually have a dog of Great Pyrenees, and I tell you what, he sees things around here. And at 3 o'clock in the morning, I know it's one of the spirits that actually kind of mess with him once in a while because he'll sit there and bark and growl at him constantly. And there's nothing there. I mean, I can feel him there, and I can sense the energy there, and I know the dog can see him. So yeah.
yeah, it's like when the cats. I know I try not to get onto them, but sometimes they'll just sit there and meow and meow and meow, and I'm like, you need to stop.
Most definitely. Yeah, I agree. But yeah, energy work, ever since I got introduced to Reiki, Tammy Christensen was my Reiki master, and she taught me so much with things. And then after she gave me the Menaki rights, there's things that I was starting to teach her because those rights showed me something she didn't get. And then when we sat and actually talked about it, she said that actually makes sense now why the 9 processes were the way they were. So, but yeah, in order to get the Menaki rights, somebody has to have them and bestow them upon you. And it definitely does help people that have, how do I say, energy that overwhelms them.
Now, the last time I did that podcast, you said there were two. I can't remember who you said, but I looked them up and you were right on it. Do you remember what you said? Something
Uh,
about Bassett or I can't remember their names.
oh, that you were linked to Basset and Anubis?
And yes, and I looked them up and I was like, wow, that's amazing.
Yeah,
It made
you're.
sense after I read about them. It really did.
Yeah, that's when, when me and you were talking, the energy is definitely connected to Basset and Anubis because you have that energy in the way it is for sure. And the more we kept talking about certain things, it linked to some of the energy work that I have done before. So yeah, that's something that meditation will help you with when you start doing that as well. You
Yes,
got another question right
especially
here.
with the cat. I've had devil dreams on and off my whole life that I wake up screaming, I'm not afraid of you.
Hmm.
Um, I have not had any of those dreams since I've had the cats either. I think the last one I had was when I was living with my Aunt Sherry, and I mean, she don't remember this, but I remember her coming in there waking me up, and when she woke me up, I just rolled over and went back to sleep. But I
Hmm.
mean, but I have my arm out and I'm yelling, I'm not scared of you, I'm not scared of you. But in the dream, it's like all flames, and there's something in there, and they're talking deep, and they're trying to scare me. And all
Hmm.
I'm screaming is, I'm not afraid of you, I'm not afraid of you. You know, you can't hurt me.
Right.
And that's about it. But I mean, it's intense, and I have never had that dream again either since I've got the cats.
Now Pam's asking another question here. Nikki, do you have the Menaki rights?
I don't know.
Yeah, somebody will have to bestow those upon you. You would
Oh,
definitely know if
like
you
the
have them.
time, the towel thing. Yeah,
Yeah,
I got you. I got you.
definitely so. Let's see
Okay.
what we got here. We got another thing. Nikki, is there a lot of protection techniques you can do? If out in the public, I'd be happy to share them with you.
Oh, that would be great. I do mostly protection just here. I believe that I'm protected. I don't think like if there's people out there that just talking bad about somebody, that's spell work. You don't have to do what you
Right.
do, like So, and I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that do, but I think I'm protected from all that. I really do. I think my grandchildren are, and I think my grandchildren are special as well. My grandson, all week, he's been like talking about ghosts and fire. I don't know why, but I said, "Are you gonna be like Grandma? You gonna be a paranormal investigator?" And Katie
we,
just looked at me and she shook her head. I think so. So,
we got a question here from Keith Ottersberg. I hope I pronounced that right. If I
I'll
botched it, I
he writes.
yeah. If I botched it, I apologize. My Reiki master bestowed 9 rights upon me, and those 9 rights will help you ground anything and everything around you, and help you convert the bad energy to good energy, so it doesn't overwhelm you. So, like when you walk into a crowded area and you got that feeling, like I was talking about earlier, where you can't breathe or you start having that panic attack, it doesn't phase me. I can go into a location where there's an elemental and it actually protects me from that as well because elementals are very strong and very energy, and they also guard the ley lines of the earth.
Right.
So, but yeah, the Menaki rites are very unique, and your Reiki master or somebody that has had to have them can only bestow them upon you, and they do work very well. And you can do a lot of things with the energy after you understand it as well.
Well, I mean, I could see that. I would love that for me to be able to get back out in the world again. But I can walk into a haunted place right now and be just fine.
Mm-hmm.
That wouldn't scare me at all. It's the stuff I pick up on humans, human beings that are just and living in Memphis, yeah, it's just not good.
Yeah, I mean, some people just throw energy at will, and it's like a pinball machine, and they don't even realize it. Pam
Right.
says these dreams are part of your lesson and is telling you what to be aware of. And yes, I have, like I said, that's part of the Menaki rights as well because it will make you dream and start showing you things that you can do as well.
I had a very weird dream last night. Speaking of dreams, and my aunt Sherry was in it, and I something happened. I can't remember the whole thing, but I remember for me to still remember it and not didn't write it down. Yeah, it meant something, but she saw something happen, and I'm like, did you see that? Really? And it was like I finally got somebody in my family to see something, and but the rest of the dream was just really weird. It was like somebody came in and said, gave me all this money. Like
Hmm.
he's like,
Maybe, maybe
gave me all
possibly maybe possibly you're coming into money and you don't realize it yet. That's a possibility as well. I mean, when I was going through my rights and having the dream phase of it, I would get like hieroglyphic little symbols, and I didn't understand what they were.
oh
And
yeah.
me and my Reiki master started digging through and looking up those symbols the best we could, and the ones we could find the closest things to that would relate to that symbol. And I have a whole list of them, and I haven't even scratched the surface yet of some of the things that it showed me that is possible.
Yeah, I bought a book on symbols and everything because I don't know about a lot of that stuff either, especially the Egyptian symbols.
Yeah, I like the Egyptian stuff. I actually like Anubis. Anubis is one of my guides. Do you know any of your guides yet? Have they appeared to you and said anything to
I
you?
couldn't tell you. I believe that my granny and papa and my granddaddy are always here and they're always protecting me. I think, uh, I mean, I've obviously been protected my whole life because I've never been arrested. I've never been in a really bad car wreck. And I've been and I've done all of that in my past. I've done things that could have got me killed, or could have gotten me, you know, uh,
Right.
trafficked, and I mean, so I'm obviously blessed to have gotten through all of that and still be alive today, especially with the
Yeah,
drugs, the driving with the drugs and everything else we did.
I know. I understand what you're talking about because I mean I've actually been in a few good car accidents that I probably should have never walked away from, and didn't have a scratch on the last one, and I actually seen the airbag go off and missed me probably by this much. Literally seen it in slow motion go off and miss me by that much. And it literally stripped the front end of the car. I was driving all the way up to the windshield, halfway up my hood. And yeah, it was pretty bad. And I just walked away from it. So, I mean, you have protectors, you have guardians, and some people don't know who they are yet because it's not time for them yet. And I feel you're going to be learning about that eventually and finding out who they are. And when you do, you'll start learning a lot more things from them as well.
Well, I think I have not had a dream like that, and maybe it's because of the show today. Uh, but I have not had a dream like that in a long time. For me to wake up and still remember that dream without even having to write it down,
Hmm.
um, because some of it was still kind of weird. But those two things that was I finally had someone in my family to see some. I guess it was poltergeist. Something happened, and she finally believed me. And then the thing with all this money. I mean, it was a bag full of money, and I was like, I don't know. They were like, just sign this and it's yours, and I'm just like, and they brought it into my home.
Huh.
They knocked on my door and they were like, and I can't remember what it was about or how or why, but I was like, okay. And there was other few things that didn't make sense, of course, but Those two things really stuck out.
Interesting. Now I know you have some pictures back here that you'd like to show. Which one would you like to start with?
About to, but we can do the pictures. Oh yeah. But I don't know which one you're going to show first.
Let's bring up this one right here.
Oh, the orb. That's Cuddles. My baby. He passed away about a year ago, and he's looking. I didn't know what he was looking at, so I got my camera out.
Oh,
And that was when I first moved into that apartment. And it's not a scary orb. It's more of a heartwarming.
right.
He wasn't scared of it. And then I think the other picture is it moves and he turns his head and looks at it as it moves. I caught it twice.
Hmm. Pam here says you need to believe and trust in yourself and know your intuition is more important than you know. Dreams are only a portion of your lesson. Yep, she is exactly correct. Me and Pam's had several talks about stuff like that as well.
I
Here's another
have to believe
picture.
in myself. I know if I don't, I'll never. Yeah. And if you can see him, yeah, he's turning around looking right at it
Yeah,
as it
he
moves.
seems like he's following it.
Yeah.
So when you seen this orb and you took the picture, what's the feeling? Because you said you felt empathic at times. What's the feeling that you
That was
felt?
probably around the time I had my spiritual awakening, because that's when I started feeling stuff in the apartment and seeing stuff out of the corner of my eye. That was the apartment I got held down, which I've been held down in other places, but that was the last place it happened.
Hmm.
And then it was before Cuddles, and because when I got Cuddles and Precious, it never happened again. So it happened before that, and then all this stuff started happening. The poltergeist, that those capturing photos like that.
Mm-hmm.
My husband at the time had come in, and I was already starting to do tarot cards too at the time, and I told him not to come in bitching and complaining, and he did.
Mm-hmm.
And I heard something break. It sounded like somebody threw a wine glass in the sink. So I got up and I'm like, "What did you do?" No, no, And then all of a sudden I was just like, "Just be quiet a minute," because I could hear like a trickling. And I went and I opened the cabinet above the sink, and glass just fell out. It didn't break. It shattered in the whole entire cabinet. I had to take everything out of that cabinet and clean it out. It shattered. He goes, "Well, maybe the plates were too heavy." I said, "No, hell no." I said, "They've been sitting like that for years." I said, "That was spirit, because of the way you came in here, and I done told you, I done called in everybody, and we're out here having a good time, and you come in here with an attitude." That's what happened. He was standing right underneath that cabinet when it happened. So
Interesting.
yeah, that freaked him out.
That just actually reminded me of something that happened about maybe 5 weeks ago. I actually opened one of my cabinets up, and a margarita glass that me and my girlfriend used to use when we have margaritas literally come out, busted on the counter, and it's been sitting there. I don't know how long, and never had an issue. Just come out, busted all over the counter. So yeah, things like that, it does. All right, Pam, thanks for stopping in.
Bye, thank you. Um, yeah, stuff like that started freaking him out. So when I asked him to leave, of course it didn't take. He was like, "Okay," because I mean I was just like, you know, you can't be scared of it. If you're scared of it, then you're not being the way you need to be. If you're not being authentic.
Hmm.
I said, "There's because if you're authentic, there's nothing to be scared of.
I
There's nothing.
agree.
Yeah, there's nothing. If I like, I would love to. Uh, what's it called? Exercise demons, because a demon is going to throw anything and everything that you've ever done wrong in your face. Well, let me tell you something. They couldn't throw shit in my face right now because I've done made peace with everything. there's nothing it could do or say to me. I'd be like, okay, and you know, got something else to tell me that I've already made peace with?
Yeah.
It wouldn't work.
I mean, I've seen a lot of strange and bizarre stuff since I've been in this field, and some of the some of the investigations that's been live, people has actually seen them as well. Because when I do an investigation, we do it live. They have an opportunity to say, "Hey, what was that?" We can go back, look, find out what it was, and etc. But there's some things, like I said, I've seen. Um, in my perspective, and everybody's just different, but me to see a demon is probably less than 1%, but I have seen some really evil type things, but I don't actually classify them as a demon because they're very, how do I say, aggressive, but I don't think they're a demon. I mean, if it was a demon, to me, I would think those type of energies could pick you up and just chuck you across them. They would really want to put a fear into your life besides some of the things like I've
Unless
seen.
you're
Does that make
protected
sense?
to the point where they can't do that. Unless you're
Yeah.
protected so much that they don't have the power to do that.
I mean, but like I'm saying, for an example, that would be something that I would actually classify as a demon if it were able to do things like that. I've
My
been told.
Keith, the Keith that just uh we had some
Hmm.
messages from Keith.
Yeah.
He went on the show. You remember the show Dead Files?
Hmm.
He was on that show. He has been possessed. So y'all would
Cool.
probably have a lot to talk about.
Yeah, maybe I'll have him on in season 5 when I
All
come back.
right. I'll have
Maybe
to.
I'll get a hold of you and maybe we'll have him on season 5 and we'll talk about that.
Yeah, he sure
Um,
was. That's how I met him. I watched the show, and then I started becoming friends with paranormal people. And I really didn't know who he was when we first became friends on Facebook. And I was like, "That's the dude from Dead Files." So yeah,
yeah, I have taken a lot of attachments away from people that they started acting very strangely after they've had them for a
yeah,
while. I have taken them away. But like I said, to me, I've been told by the shamans that I go to class with and stuff, they said I'm very well protected as well.
I know I am. I just like her telling me that I need to believe in myself. You know, I never. I believe in myself more now than I have ever in my whole life. You have to. You have to be that way. You have to not care what anybody else thinks because that's not going to get you nowhere.
I just wrote Keith's name down here on my page
Oh, good.
so I can remind myself. But yeah, I mean, I have seen a 12-year-old boy pick up a front of a riding lawnmower and bounce it like a basketball. I mean, just pick it up off the ground and just start bouncing it. And the night before that happened is when Anubis made his presence known around me and showed me what to do when that happened to that little boy. Otherwise, I would have had no clue. I mean, Anubis has made his presence known several times around me and has showed me a lot of things when it comes to taking care of, how do I say, bad things
Yeah,
that need to be moved along. So,
yeah. I'm there. I'm ready to do it. The whole Ed and Lorraine Warren thing. I would love to be able to do what they did. Find someone. I don't want to find someone. I just, I'm good being alone, but it would take that. It would take for me to be with someone else again. It would take them to know even more than what I know and to understand it, even teach me something, a thing or two.
yeah,
That's
that's kind of one of the things I'm in right now as well. I mean, my girlfriend passed away like 3 years ago, but I said to myself, if I get involved with anybody, they've got to be in the paranormal field and understand some things that's going on and like it, or want to go
yeah,
on investigations and go out and learn stuff, and then we can learn stuff from each other as well.
right.
But yeah, I definitely agree with
Yeah,
that because,
well, I'm interested in it. I'm like, that's not going to be enough.
oh yeah, yeah,
Being interested is not enough.
right.
You
And I mean,
gotta
like I
have
said,
some experiences in your back pocket. You gotta we gotta, you gotta experience. You gotta have some experiences.
Oh,
You
most
can't just
definitely.
go by what I say and go, well, that sounds interesting, because that's not enough for me. I mean, I've
I
had
do.
paranormal stuff. I actually have poltergeist stuff happen, and I've had people go over here and stuff would happen and he'd see it, but he wouldn't say nothing. And I'm like, that's exciting. I'm like, you don't even want to talk about it. I'm like, damn, man. I'm like, you saw it. So, yeah, I can't do that either. No.
Yeah, like I said, they've got to be interested in it and be able to go out in the field, go on investigations. Because, and another thing, I don't want them to be jealous either, because sometimes I do team up with other teams
Right.
that have females on them, and we are out till 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning sometimes, depending on where we are at and what the investigation's about. So I mean, they've got to be able to understand, when we go out, we're actually working. It's not something that's, we're actually out doing a investigation.
I'm so over all that kind of stuff. Yeah, it would have to be that way. It would have to.
For
So, what
sure.
about synchronicities? Do you see a lot of synchronicities? Not in just numbers. I mean, it's everything.
I see a lot of things that's in common with synchronicities, and it's kind of mind blowing. It seems like it's more now
Really
than it
is.
has been ever.
Like,
So,
I see 137. Keith said, "Yep."
yep, he agrees.
I see 137 all the time, and it doesn't have to be 137. It could be 731 or any kind of mixed up, but it's 137.
I think the ones that most common show up for me is actually probably my lucky number that pops up constantly all the time, and that's 28.
Okay.
It'll come up in 12 and 8, and for some reason 12 and 8 I know is linked to my daughters because they were born October 8th and October 12th. So, and they're very empathic as well, but they don't like to acknowledge it. So they
I get
kind of
that.
fight and struggle with it.
My
But
son, my son, and my grandchildren, even my daughter-in-law, have those numbers in their birth dates or their time of birth or their weight of birth. It's all there. And my son, I almost tripped out. I was backing out of my mom's one day, and I looked at his license plate. It was all seven threes and ones and a zero. I said, I took a picture of it. I was like, that is crazy. So, but yeah, I mean, I see 555, 222, 11, 11, 111. But then it's like my girlfriend's daughter was over here, and I would say something, and either if we were listening to music or watching a movie, they would say it. It would either be said right after I said what I said. I said that's synchronicity as well.
I
So
know,
if she
I
was
know at
tripping,
one time,
she was
I know
tripping
at
on.
one time I told one of my girlfriends back in the day, I said, we need to buy a lottery ticket. And I wrote down the numbers for us and I said, go get this for us because I wasn't in town at the time. And I said, write them down and go get a couple lottery tickets. Well, I got over there that night and I was like, hey, did you get lottery tickets? She goes, oh, shit, I forgot. I'll be son of a bitch. They hit every single one of them that night. And I'm like,
Oh my
and we
goodness,
did, and we did not have one. And I'm like, oh,
I've been teased.
I
They're
just
like,
wanted to cringe.
I've been teased about that too. Let's go down to the casino. I'm like, yeah. I used to love to play roulette. I was really good at it.
I like roulette. I
I love
do. I do like to play roulette, and I like to play blackjack too.
that. Me too. It's been a long time that I've been down there
And
though. That would be
and I
like
like
August
and I like to play craps as well. I have
That's
good
too fast.
hands with dice.
That's
But
too fast.
yeah, but I know we're getting close to the end of the show here, and I know we got a few more pictures and a couple more things I would like to ask. So we'll bring up this next picture here.
That's me and my dad. There's like an anomaly right above, up ahead, up above that little
Hmm.
reddish whatever, and I'm pointing right
Hmm.
at it. And I was like, maybe 2 years old.
Yeah.
So there you go. I mean, it started way early.
Hmm. Yeah, they say that it starts earlier when we're a kid, and everybody keeps telling us it don't exist. And then by the time we get older, it's like, okay, it's no big deal. But
That's why they say you grow out of it. You
hmm
don't keep, but I guess I never really did. A lot of people do because when they're young, that's all they do see.
hmm
That is a Native American woman in that circle.
and I can actually see that. You can see her head standing there. Yep.
She's looking over her shoulder at the camera.
hmm
You can see the headdress and what she's wearing.
Yep.
That
I can
that
see
was
it.
at, that was at Fort Pillow when my son was in Cub Scouts. And after my awakening, I was just going through a bunch of pictures, and I started seeing stuff in pictures that I had never seen before. Because after my awakening, it was like everything looked different. The trees were greener. It was like everything was like brand new. It was like being reborn. It's exactly That's the only way I could explain it. So when I
hmm
saw that, I was like, I kept that.
Yeah,
I
I
was
can
like,
definitely see the headdress and looking over the shoulder. I can definitely see that without a problem. That's one of the things I like looking through pictures. I've actually got pictures where people has taken it, and I've circled the picture like you have here, and there's children standing in the yard, three or four of them, and you can see them as plain as day, and nobody realizes it.
yeah. And I mean, I've always known. I've always felt things. And when we were at Fort Pillow that time, oh, that's the one where I'm getting kissed on the cheek by a ghost. That's my
Yep.
greeting. I got
Yep.
told I have a medium friend here, and he actually helps police help find missing children. And I would call him when stuff started happening, and he would always, confirm everything for me. But he said that was my grandmother. I was taking a pic. That picture was taken in her mirror, which is right here.
hmm
That was in the other apartment though. And he said that's her.
I can actually see the face right there on
Right,
your
right
right
there.
side.
You see that discolored, like kind
Yep,
of a
I do.
glow, or kind of a
Mm,
uh, it looks kind of
it's
blurry,
grayish, transparent. Yep,
and it's blurry looking,
yep.
and it's coming down right here on my face.
hmm I definitely see it for sure. What do you think about the Mandela effect? Have you come across anything with the Mandela effect? Do you know what the Mandela effect is?
I do. I've heard of it. Please tell me more.
It's
Like,
like
refresh
it's
my
like
memory.
where it's like where certain people remember certain things different than we do. Like to me, Mandela, when I was in high school, I remember seeing him on Time magazine, and he actually died back then. But according to what everybody says now, he only died a few years back now. But I remember seeing him on Time magazine. He died. Also, there's things like songs or things in movies that have changed. Words on, like Ford, the truck has a cursive F on it where it used to be stamped exactly FORD, solid square letters, Ford Tough, and it was like stamped in the grill. Now it's got that cursive letter, and they said, "Oh, it's always been that way."
No,
The cornucopia and fruit of the loom, they said never existed. I remember it distinctly.
okay. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. That happens with a lot of things now. That's so crazy. Because I mean, some things you can go back and prove the fact that it was there, though,
hmm Yeah,
and they
like the
don't.
movie.
That's just today. That's the government.
Well, one of the things that I've come across, they said we have passed through generations and dimensions. Us, that's why we remember things the way we remember them, because we remember the originals that we were seeing. But the ones that didn't are in this generation now, are in this dimension. So they only remember what they've seen already because they grew up here, not where we grew up.
Right. I remember.
I do remember that. I remember when because my mom actually opened up the Walmart here in town.
Yeah,
Yep,
that
I
was
do
another.
remember that.
I can't think of them all right now, but I know what you're talking about now. Yes, I do know about the Mandela effect.
But yeah, you can get into a very big discussion with that as well because, like I said, it seems like we've come from other dimensions. That's why we remember it, and the people that can't remember the things that we remember are from this dimension, and that's why they say it doesn't exist. That's another theory behind it as well. Because I remember Mr. Monopoly having a monocle. I remember that distinctly, and supposedly he never had one. One of the newest ones that have changed is if everybody remembers the movie E.T.
Oh yeah,
Well, what did E.T. say when he was in the movie? What was the most popular line he said?
ET phone home.
E.T. phone home. Now it's E.T. home.
Nuh-uh.
Yep. Hello, Greg. Greg
Hey,
Coss is in the house. Thanks for stopping in, Greg. But yeah, now it says ET home and he points instead of ET phone home.
no, that don't make sense.
And I know there's songs, some of the words have been changed in some of the songs if you start digging into them. Like, some of Journey's songs, like
Really?
the the little saying that she took the midnight train going everywhere, anywhere. And then it said a small town boy. He took the midnight train going anywhere, and it just says now the midnight train going. Yeah, it's really bizarre on how things have changed.
Yeah, but that and that's just a whole the way they're changing stuff and what they're doing. It's just crazy. That's a
Oh
whole
yeah,
nother subject.
oh yeah. It's like the Tartarians. That's how Tesla would see things. Timeline shifts. That's definitely right, without a shadow of a
A
doubt.
lot of my dreams do come true. It may be a year from now, but a lot of my dreams do come true. So that I hope that dream about money last night. That'd be
Yeah,
great. I'd be moving up north real fast. Where
yeah,
my kids are. Oh yeah.
that would be awesome if that did come around. But yeah,
It's
it's
like when
definitely.
thunderstorms come around, I feel that energy. When there's a thunderstorm and it's storming, I get so I can just feel it. I get so energized when a storm comes rolls through. I love it so much.
Yeah, I like to sit out, and I actually like to watch lightning storms and thunderstorms as well. Just sit there. You feel
I'll
like you
put
said,
that on just to go to sleep to.
"Oh
Sometimes if
yeah."
it's storming.
I would fall asleep during a thunderstorm, and it would take the whole house, and I would still be sleeping, and it wouldn't bother me one bit. I mean,
Y'all have had a lot of tornadoes. Y'all have had 168 tornadoes in your state alone, and all the other states that have they're not even in the hundreds. Y'all have had 168 tornadoes.
well, I know we get a lot of damage here in this area. I don't. As far as I know, as long as I've lived in this town, I don't think a tornado's ever really hit here where I live. And the rumor has it's because we have a mummy up on the town square, and he's
Wow.
actually classified as a saint, and he's a child, and supposedly he's the protector of this town.
Wow.
So it's interesting that, like I said, we do get a lot of wind damage, tree damage, broken trees, broken limbs, uprooted stuff, but nothing super major, like some of
That's
the other
kind of like
towns.
here. As soon as it hits the bluff, it goes over Memphis, and then it comes back around like further that way.
Right. So, but yeah, we've got what they call a mummy up here, not far from where I live. That's actually in one of the churches. So it's supposed to be the protector of the town. So that's kind of interesting.
Yeah, they live out. I can't. I'm not gonna say where, but the towns around them have been hit, and it's just scary.
Well, Nikki, we are at the top of the hour. I
Okay.
greatly appreciate you coming on the show tonight, and I love talking to you. It's definitely interesting. We'll definitely have you back later, maybe in season 5, and see how you've progressed.
That
You
would be
know,
great. I need to practice on my magic trick that I do, and a few other things with my energy. I would love to come back and do that.
And yeah, we'll definitely have you back on the show and see how you progress. Because I definitely like watching people when they first come into things and how they adapt. And you're on the verge of that as well. They normally split and go around way more, supposedly due to the native plus. Yeah, Native Americans had a lot to do with a lot of things as well,
Yeah,
especially down in our area.
and he lives in Nebraska, so they get a lot of weather too there.
I will
Thank you.
definitely, I will definitely be getting a hold of Mr. Keith for season 5.
We could be on the show together. That'd be great. That'd be fun.
Yeah, maybe we'll do that, and maybe I'll have you co-host with me that night, and we'll talk to Keith about his experiences because you know
That
him a
would
little
be
more than I do. So maybe we
it's
can.
scary. That was a scary experience. I'm so glad he pulled through that.
No, we'll definitely have to do that if I can get a hold of you to get a hold of him, or hopefully I can find him on Facebook, and we'll definitely do that.
I'll definitely.
And
I'll share his stuff with you on Facebook, and that you can get all of him.
yeah, and definitely Keith, if you're still there, send me a friend request in Messenger or follow the show, and I can definitely find you as well. And like I said, when I start scheduling for season 5, we'll definitely have you on the show. I'd definitely be interested in talking about your experience for sure. But it's been great, Nick, and like I said, I love talking with you. It's definitely always interesting because, like I said, I know that you're coming into a lot of your stuff and a lot of your gifts, and I can understand exactly how you feel about some things. And to be able to find somebody, like you said, to talk to about it and understand what's going on, it definitely helps. And like I said, you're always welcome to contact me anytime you want, and you know, we'll get you set up and we can talk about things. And if I don't know it, I know I can find somebody that does know about it. I do got a lot of friends, so definitely so. So, like I said, thank you for coming on tonight. And I'm going to close out the show here with you just sitting up here because this is the last show of season 4 tonight. So
Thank you for having me.
definitely,
Enjoyed it.
definitely, you're welcome. And definitely check this out if you haven't seen it. Definitely watch the replay and check it out. Next week, I do have a special because we were on Sullivan Island last night. We had an investigation. If you didn't get to see that, go watch it. We did get some voices. We did get some dead man bells ringing and stuff on the island last night. And we're going to have a discussion next week with the people that I was with, Eternal Paranormal, Spectre Paranormal, and Haunted Happy Hour. They were with me last night. And some of the things that we're going to discuss is some of the things that had happened right after we went off the air, and we were sitting in a little area, and we actually got some things that were pretty interesting. So we're definitely going to talk about that next week. And also throughout the time, I will definitely have some specials coming on, and I will post them because we will definitely have some live investigations. And season 4 or season 5, I should say, will start October 5th. So I will definitely post that up, but definitely keep an eye on the banner when it lights up because you will definitely probably see a live investigation when it pops up from now on until October. So, like I said, I hope everybody had a great Father's Day. Thank you, everybody who stopped in and said hi and all the comments. And thank you, everybody, for all your support as well. And Greg Koss, we're definitely going to get together here before the end of summer and have an investigation of our own we've talked about. So I'll be getting in contact with you here pretty soon as well. Everybody have a great night and the rest of your Father's Day. And we'll see you next season. Have a great night, everybody.